Jake, how's this week going?
The mob is back, and I'm feeling
Mama's
badder
back.
than ever.
It's
I
great to be
feel like a
back.
badass. This is a PG show, but I said the word badass. Is that okay?
Ass. Yeah, I think it's okay to say what you want. That's what we like to say is to go totally raw. Uh, I think we have a special episode today. Um, a little bit of a heated debate happened on LinkedIn between two important people in the PR, SEO, geo space.
Hmm.
Um, would have liked to have an open discussion with all participants, but today we have Omri Hurwitz, who is part of that debate. And like all our guests, we want to talk to operators, people who are in deep in B2B, B2C tech space.
Hmm.
So let's welcome on Omri.
Omri in the house. Take
Hi
off your
guys,
trench coat.
thank you
Let's see your
so.
weapons.
Let's go, let's go. Thank you so much for having me on this show. Howard and Jake, you guys are awesome, and it's a great opportunity to talk.
You're awesome.
You're awesome.
Omri, are you wearing the shades because you got a shiner from the online
Oh
sparring
yeah,
with
Yeah.
he's
Avner?
hiding a black eye there.
Yeah, we just we after that heavy LinkedIn exchange, we went out and kicked the shit out of each other, and that's why I have the shades on, because he gave me a strong right wing kind of hit, and I wasn't as fast, and but you should see the other guy, you should see the other guy.
But I
So
just
listen,
recently saw another post, and it seems like maybe things have cleared up, and so I'm glad to see that you guys, all jokes aside, that you guys talked it over. But let's get into it. Let's
Yeah.
talk about what it is that gets people so heated around geo, SEO, the impact of AI and PR, how it's all blending together. So tell us a little about yourself and a little more context around that.
Awesome. So I'll give some context about myself, and then I think I'll give some context about this argument. By the way,
Hmm.
is my mic working good? Do you guys
Yeah,
hear
it's
me well?
perfect. Yeah, and
Awesome.
us? Well,
Yeah, you guys sound good. Yeah, and I have my mic here, my Shure mic. So okay, so I own a media firm. It's actually the largest media firm in Europe and Asia, in terms of the size of the media firm. So the company has three verticals. We do PR. We have 59 startups that we do PR for. 70% of them are Israeli based, 30% of them are American companies that have nothing to do with Israel. We have 11 unicorns on the roster. Some of the names are companies like Tiger Data, which are Timescale, Interface, Synthesia, the AI avatars.
yeah.
In Israel, Walnut and Taylor Brands and Equity B, and just like a lot of awesome just a lot of awesome clients that we work with in every kind of like vertical. Quack that was just sold to JFrog, which was pretty cool. So yeah, so that's one part of the business. The second part is the media outlets. So we buy equity in media outlets, like 12%, 17%, whatever we can negotiate to get, and that helps us build for the PR clients, and also helps us to kind of make more revenue through sponsored articles and those kind of stuff. And then the third
So
thing that
it's
the
so
yeah,
it's like symbiotic. It's your
exactly.
acquisitions within the media outlets increases your media um reach, so to speak, for placements, PR, and it kind of works in a cycle, right? The larger you get, the more stake you can buy, the more places you can get placements for PR.
100%. It's exactly that. And now I'll tell you the third part of the business, and you understand how that helps the second two parts. The third part of the business is we do investing. So we invest in the stock market, in 25 or 26 now publicly traded stocks. And we've done really good. I think we've done 130% in the last 2.5 years. So it's kind of like
So you know your
it's like,
stops.
yeah, it's like it's kind of like elite hedge fund numbers in a sense, not in terms of how much we invested, because we don't have billions yet, but definitely we did invest millions, and but it's still in terms of performance, it bypassed, like I read, like 82% of hedge funds, so that's
With a
pretty cool.
machine. I can already imagine the placements in media in order to
Make
charge
stocks
up
go up. We're
to
not allowed to
charge
do that
up.
stuff.
I know, but
Yeah.
it seems
In
well,
crypto world,
full
we have a
dis-
name for
for
this.
legal disclaimer. No insider trading,
Right.
no pump and dump is happening in this
Right.
mechanism.
I love the financial angle. I love how you're a
Yeah,
multi-threaded
that's cool.
business. Let's boil this down to what business drivers and what business decisions that leadership need to make now, and what your angles are. And I think that's about, we want to drill down on the geo and PR. Those are two areas. Geo is getting so much hype, and PR is getting a bad name as to, oh, it's all going digital and AI is gamifying. So let's get into the meat of that, because those are two, SEO traditional and PR traditional used to be go-to staples of the go-to-market team. Now, you think that you probably come in with a different view on that. Why don't you share a little bit of your thoughts as to what your business is based on and how it's contrary to what maybe operators like ourselves generally do?
100%. So I'll try to make this as concise as possible, but I'm super passionate about this. So if I go on a little bit, you guys don't hit me, right?
Not at all. That's
yeah.
what we love having passionate people on here. And if you
Yeah,
listen to other episodes, our guests appreciate it and our audience loves it. So
awesome.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Shoot.
Thank you. So we started the PR firm on the basis that traditional PR doesn't work. Why? Because there's more and more brands in every single vertical, and there's less reporters. So there's less media outlets that have an editorial staff. TechCrunch fired lots of people. VentureBeat fired lots of people.
Quite publicly.
Yeah, TechCrunch took out their whole European team. It's like, and that's so Protocol, the media outlet, got closed several years ago. That model has been taking a hit. I would say that other outlets like Axios and the Information have actually gone up because they have a very different model of subscription led and Axios has this very
Substacks
digital native
stuff.
Yeah. So there is more media coming out, but it looks different than the traditional thing. And traditional PR folks, they're like real estate brokers. They basically broke between the client and the outlet. And we think that is not working because how could it work? There's more brands, so everyone's competing. And so basically what we do is we use analytics and data-driven insights to basically incentivize reporters. Let's say Howard and Jake, you guys are working on a Forbes piece, okay? I would come to you guys and I would tell you guys, hey guys, listen, we have this great client in this space. And I think that if you use this type of keywords in the article or this type of first paragraph, et cetera, I think this article has a bigger potential to go viral. And what we do,
a Forbes Council post, just for our audience to clarify, you're not talking, not an editorial board.
No, I'm actually talking about editorial. I'm actually talking about editorial.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, an actual editorial. Let's say Howard, you let's say in another life you're a Forbes reporter, right? So we would actually try to give you value instead of just pitching the client. We would work with you on the article and try to get this one because you care about clicks. It all started, by the way, because I was a reporter. I wrote for Forbes and Yahoo Finance. And I wanted clicks. I didn't care about who I was covering. I wanted to get more clicks on my media outlet so I can get paid more per article from my from the editors, right?
And you would have loved working for us, Jake. Do you remember when we had this trick where we would drive very low cost Twitter traffic to it's like one of those things that people don't like to talk about, but it's you do that because the writers and the editors, they love that, and it kind of gives them an incentive. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry to cut you off. When you said that, I was like, I know exactly how that works.
It's exactly that. It's exactly that. We have an amplification team in house that basically they operate kind of like a hedge fund for media amplification. They see what are the cheapest.
Hedge fund or click farm? I didn't hear you. Hedge fund or click farm?
Right. It sounded a click farm.
Let's keep going.
The hedge fund is called Click Farm. But yeah, it's a click farm. And what they do is they have a Google spreadsheet. The guy who manages, shout out to JJ, who does this as a full-time gig, and he's doing great work. And he just goes every single day and he's tracking where it's easier to buy clicks that Google AdSense or whatever, or Google Analytics actually vets as actual.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we do, and it's a whole operation. It's like, it sounds simple, but it's like there's lots of, you guys know this, like there's a lot of behind the scenes to actually make this work and to make it profitable, because you don't want to lose money on your PR clients, right? So that's how we do it. We do the modern PR thing, and this just makes us just like an elite PR firm, because our clients gets 560% more media coverage than, you know, our number 2 competitor, because we just work in a whole different manner. And then when those articles go out, we amplify them like crazy. You know, X ads, Tabula ads, you know, all that media amplification things going on, and it's working. It's working, so because the client. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think there's a question there, because a lot of times we want to know if the media is hitting the right audience. So we like you said, we know we can pump traffic. We know about you know, the spread and getting it out there, right? And I think it used to be like, there was a funding announcement. You wanted to show like some crazy numbers, you know, just for those, you know, premium placements. Then you can do that. But then what was the business result, right? People question that. And even now, now I don't know many people doing so many funding announcements, because it's all coming down to getting the message out there. We actually have a voice, and we need that voice to reach the right audience. So nowadays I'm thinking like, great, we could drive traffic, but I actually want the relevant traffic now.
Right.
So how do you balance that?
So I tell you how
maybe I'm misunderstanding, because you do need to pump again. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the flow.
So it's actually a good angle. Okay. So it splits. What do I mean by that? As a PR firm, our main objective is to pump up the traffic for the publications. I don't care if my client is getting his ICP's eyeballs on this article, right? What we do for the client is we tell them, do you guys want us to handle your media amplification? And because our majority of our clients are B2B startups, so if they say yes, which they usually say no, because they probably have like a PPC team in-house or whatever, but if they say yes, we'll run a specific ABM LinkedIn ads showing that article, right? And it's obviously going to cost more or whatever, but it's going to be on a whole separate budget. And if they do it in-house, we tell them, dude, like if you get featured in Forbes, you're going to need to take a screenshot of the article and run LinkedIn ads to your ICP for them to make sure your ICP is looking at this article, right? So basically there's two ways for the ICP to see this article. One way is for them to search for a specific keyword on or search engines or Google, and the article comes up, right? And the second thing is to push the article to them through LinkedIn ads, which is the only platform where you can actually target specific people, right?
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Very smart. So we have actually a bifurcation. First is amp up the reporter so they get all the credit. Second is take that credibility and then drop it specifically, as opposed to try and say who's got my audience attention, which is another play. And Howard, you know that one about going to trade pubs and all those things that are not glamorous, but you know that's very different. I mean, that's niche marketing. But what Omri's got here is a fun double-edged sword of make the reporter into a hero, and then take that niche, golden nugget.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the niche it might even work better, because you know they might normally see 10,000 visits for that particular article, depending on the industry and obviously all those other factors. But then they see a bump themselves. They get more ad revenue. They get it all kind of it benefits them as well.
So let me just drill down and make sure I understand. So that's the motion, and that's where you're saying I got the SEO, the geo, the click, the clickers, the click team, the traffic buyers to that. However, and that's your motion. Is there another angle here? Because I know that there was a geo versus SEO.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's definitely something. There's definitely heated debate happening. Well, it's not just you, Omri, and it's not just the others. I've seen it a lot, and I think both traditional PR agencies and traditional SEO agencies are trying to figure this out.
100%. So let's dive into this, okay? And for this, I have to give a context to the listeners and a context to Jake and Howard. So how did if you guys go to Perplexity or ChatGPT or whatever, and you ask it like what's the best geo media firm out there, generative engine optimization media firm, it's usually gonna say us. It's usually gonna say like my brand. And I tell you how this whole geo happened. When people were starting to talk about LLM search engines like a year and a half ago, I didn't care about that. Like me and my team, we didn't give a shit about that. We were like, it's an SEO thing that they need to like whatever. We do PR, we get the brand, we push the content out. We don't care about like about people searching with high intent. It's not what we care about. But then something happened. Then a guy from my team, he came up to me and he told me, listen, Omri, something's weird. Our clients are seeing lots of uplift in traffic through analytics, through LLM search engines, if it's Perplexity or ChatGPT mostly, and increasing direct search after we have several articles coming out with a specific narrative. And then we looked into it, and we saw that it's the PR that we didn't even think that is that valuable for GEO is actually the most valuable thing for GEO. So what did I do? I went and read all the things that the SEO firms are talking about. All the SEO firms were talking about geo. So I read about all their content, and they were talking about like technical analysis things and like on-site SEO and all this kind of stuff. And I told my team, guys, but we don't do any of that. Like we don't even know how to do technical on-site analysis. Like, guys, look at my website, like omrihurwitz.com. Our website is like there's like case studies with like 50 or 60 case studies, and that's it. Like there's not really like on-site stuff going on there. And then I realized that, and then we did some tests. We did some tests for clients specifically on specific narratives.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that like we have a huge advantage. Why? Because remember, we have the PR side and we have the media outlets. So I could post 30 articles in one day about Howard and Jack's podcast and why it's the #1 ranked podcast, right? And B2B, and basically manipulate that narrative, right? And we saw that that's what we're supposed to do. And how did this whole debate started? And it started actually several weeks ago. Is that I saw a lot of SEO folks saying GEO is the new SEO, etc., etc. And I kindly, or maybe not so kindly, but I commented on their LinkedIn post and I told them, why do you say that? The way I see it, it's actually the opposite of SEO. Because the bots, they bypass everything that is biased, the AI bots, which means everything that is on site and all those kind of stuff, immediately it's like not relevant, right? So that was like that's what I was telling. And obviously all the traditional SEO folks were getting mad at me, right? Omri, you know what you're doing. And I'm like, what do you mean I don't know what I'm talking about?
What's funny, it's funny though, I was gonna say, forget even before, I'm remembering the days even before ChatGPT and AI. So much a part of the SEO work and the PR work. I remember we were sitting with PR agencies, and one of their value adds was when you place these articles, it increases your rankings. It has an SEO impact, right? So it's not like SEO is not foreign to PR, and SEO teams would say the same thing. Work with a PR agency or a backlinker or something to get your content out there. There's another angle I think to this, and this is why I really want to try to get both narratives on this, because I have.
But do you notice that the other narrative doesn't come up and talk? And
I think because it's an area, because SEO, I've done SEO and it's super technical, but there's a part of it that's also not. And when you understand that it's actually all together, then it actually works. It's really, I think I said in the channel, it's like you're on the same two sides of the same exact coin, and you might not even realize it. I remember years ago, when LLMs were still academic, we worked with an agency out, his name is Ryan, out in Florida, and he was like, Google's talking about this stuff. We need to be sending their plugins or tools that you can feed the academic LLMs. And so lo and behold, today you do a search on several of our important keywords and phrases. We're coming up on Gemini answers, and within the listing on the side, whether it's the first, second, or third source for that with the messaging component. So I do want to say that there is probably a technical component still that remains, that you have to push for the traditional SEO principles get the, I think they call it EEAT or something like that. That was
Yeah.
Google's principle 5 years ago. Like Google's been saying that for a long time. But what I've noticed, I think I mentioned this as well, when I've done searches, especially deep research, or the search web function, you get PR articles. So it has to be both.
I want to add here, not too long ago, we went to this geo, and everyone was opining and guesstimating. And someone said, the emperor has no clothing. You don't have to do that technical. It's so smart, you do not have to write up your language in something specific.
It knows what you're saying, yeah.
It was so stupid. It was like and it's really about justifying what the value is in SEO in the next generation. So I thought that was I was feeling like, geez, these didn't feel like expert voices. It felt like a lot of Ouija boards and,
Well, that was a couple of months ago, Jake. And I think we said it then that the rate, like right over the rate of change for AI is exponential. What was 6 months ago when we went to that, or maybe it was 4 months ago when we went to that event, is totally different right now. I think, Omri, you hit on it. I think this element of bias, right? The AI now knows that if there's a website talking about a particular topic, maybe it shouldn't rank it as that. There's a whole algorithms that, you really need to dig deep into stuff like that. Ranking.
So we're doing a little bit of geo. I want to actually be practical because, Omri, you've got the attention and you have a couple of people who are generally on side with these actions that you're suggesting. We have other people who are either sitting on the fence and don't know, oh, geo will come in, or SEO, I got my team working on it, and we have a step into PR. What would you say are the ABCs that you would recommend besides the obvious of call you and book you? So but let's say that they're do-it-yourself first. How can they test some of your theories? What would be the do-it-yourself playbook that you would give them to test up the waters?
Awesome, Jake. I love this. First of all, I made a whole YouTube video. It didn't get lots of views, but it's out there on YouTube. It's like,
well, send us the link and we'll include it in the show notes.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. So it's basically like a very simple geo strategy that everyone can do. Not everyone, because you actually need a distribution. That's like the difficult thing about it. But I'll explain. Okay. So what we've seen, there's a 3-layer system. What do I mean by that? And excuse me for getting a bit technical here, but it's important to understand the technicalities. Okay, so here we go. When you ask an LLM search engine something, right? You ask like Grok or Perplexity or ChatGPT. Perplexity, by the way, always searches the web, but let's say ChatGPT and Grok. They have two options. They can basically the AI looks into its own training model to see if the latest updated training model can answer your question, or the bot can start crawling the web, right? Can go out and start searching the web. When it says searching the web or searching or whatever,
deep research, search.
Yeah, right, search. So that's the two options. Now listen to this. When ChatGPT just came out, they wanted to optimize on the GPU usage. And the GPU is optimized when the bot crawls the web. It's taking a toll on the GPU usage. So ChatGPT thought, OpenAI thought, that they will do a training model every 3 or 4 months, or maybe 2. I don't have I'm just throwing out numbers. I don't that.
It was delayed. It was. I think at the beginning, I'm remembering it's like 6 months.
Yeah. Okay. Like exactly. So like they would do a training model each like in a specific time, and only when they need to, they're gonna let the bot crawl the web. But what happened? Grok came out. Claude came out. Gemini. Remember how they were shocked that Google were like, and then they knew that people would leave their platform because people want concrete answers, not some hallucinations and not some outdated stuff, right? So now everyone is trying to search the web. And when the AI bot searches the web, he's trying to give the most updated answer available. And they do it on 3 layers. And imagine this like a safe, okay? 3 layers that unlock an answer, okay? One is the bot is trying to go and find first page rankings of Bing's or Google, right? And they're searching for unbiased media outlets reporting on that specific keyword or whatever that you're asking it. So it's gonna search for something like USA Today or Forbes or TechCrunch or Business Insider or those type of outlets, right? Or Yahoo Finance, etc. Then let's say I'll shoot out an example so it'll be easy. Let's say I'm looking for who's the best B2B podcast host out there. Okay, who are the most talented? And there's a Forbes article mentioning that Howard and Jake are the ones. So that unlocks what?
You're too kind. Go ahead.
So basically the bot goes and he catches that, but he doesn't show you this yet. He catches it. Then he's going to he's searching something else, the second layer. What is the second layer? The second layer is a specific niche-oriented outlet that talks about this specific thing. So they're going to search for, let's say, an outlet called b2bpodcast.com, right? But when they search for that, they don't care if that outlet has 50,000 monthly website visits a month or 5. They just look for the keywords.
They find it.
Okay, and then they go into that outlet, and then if they see Howard and Jake mentioned in that outlet, boom, second thing locked.
It's a factor, right?
It's another factor. It's the second layer of the safe got just like been unlocked, okay? But it's still not sending you the answers, not yet. Now it goes to the third layer. What is the third layer? The third layer is the bot is trying to find another media outlet. It could be even like the smallest media outlet possible, but it has to be basically indexed on the search engine, or it's Google or Bing's, right? It has to be indexed.
Is there authority? Does authority play into it at all? Do they understand authority?
Not on the third one. It doesn't look for authority on the third one. It's looking for neutrality, for something that it's neutral. Because remember, the first one they looked was authority. The second layer, they were looking for niche authority. And the third layer, they're just wanting to make sure that it's going viral. Or
corroboration.
Exactly.
Corroboration. Or like when someone makes a motion, you go, I second the motion, right? Someone who goes,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And then once you got all those 3 unlocked, then you're going to get your answer there. But what's the thing? More and more people understand this now. So everyone is doing the same thing. So now there's going to be more and more layers of how many mentions in all those 3.
Marketers ruin everything. Whenever we find something that works, it's just an avalanche.
Wait. Let me, Jake, before this, because I didn't finish because this is the most important. So how do you practically
bring it home? Bring it home, baby.
The narrative needs to be concise in all 3 of them. What do I mean? All 3 of those articles need to have the answer in the headline, or like the answer in the first paragraphs, right? So like it has to be. It's not like, so for example, let's say
can't bury the lead.
Yeah, you can't bury the thing. It has to be like stupidly transparent, right? Like it's almost like it's better to pay to play to do this just to get the results you're looking for. And then the narrative needs to have the same narrative. So all those 3 articles, the nuance needs to be that Howard and Jake are the best B2B podcast hosts, right? And that unlocks everything. And then it really depends on your industry, how competitive it is for you to do more reps on each one of those layers. And that's it. No technical analysis, no on-site shit. All those things don't matter, except yes, there is some technical component that if on your website, in your blog section, you mention, you send a link back to those 3 things, there's a slight advantage, but it's not that like.
I think I agree on everything. That sounds amazing, and it all that makes sense. But I do think, because you did say the bot will crawl, right? It will do a search, so it just naturally makes sense that the SEO work will still, if you can get yourself to rank within the early results, then the LLM, the ChatGPTs will find that and incorporate it, not necessarily give it the answer, but incorporate it as a factor. So I know you say like it's a minimizing, and it's not about, I don't want to say it's like minimizing. I think it should be the opposite. You want to blow up this idea that the PR is now more important. Without, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but they're not here to defend themselves, the SEO agencies, but I think we all know kind of how it works.
Why they're not here?
I think we can speak.
It could be scheduling issues.
Of course it is.
Again, it's not to besmirch anyone, but I think
The Wadi group, Wadi, the poll from Wadi, he had an event several days ago called GEOs, the new SEO. They invited lots of people. I told Paul, how come you're talking to this guy? I don't know, this marketer from Mindspace or whatever. I told him, dude, why are you not debating me in front of your audience? Why are you guys not doing it? And
hey, listen, back to your corner. We're gonna take this another time. We're gonna organize.
Right, it's not fair to have fights without the people around, and we can continue this.
And that's not it.
Right.
But I want to just say, yeah, you made a compelling case, and I think that there's a lot of, I love what you're doing with, driving.
I agree with it as well. It's 100% makes sense, and knowing the technicalities of how you can get the placements, it's ingenious, and it's the SEO people should recognize it's just as technically important as the on-site. It's just now that you can. I don't want to use the word gaming, but you can actually have your PR and your media outreach, and I would sometimes even just, instead of calling it PR, I just call it third-party content placement.
Yeah.
Third-party content placements, and it all works together.
Non-biased content.
I think that comes out when you say non-biased. I think we meant to mention that. I think that comes down to the messaging. The search engines and the LMs were always smart enough to know that, right? And I'm gonna you have to know your ICP. What are the type of things that they would be searching for that will be helpful to solve real problems, and that you are delivering, whether you're a brand or media or whatever it is, that you're actually providing the answer in a way that is unbiased. In the SEO world, it used to be the listicles, and the brand would place themselves number 3 in the listicle, right? And in PR, it would be the same idea. You would get the placements, and you'd get the same listicle in the third-party placement. So again, it comes down to the message and adding value, right?
Yeah, I think that, Omri, I love what you're doing here. I love what you've done. It's such a modern approach to this, and I think that as an operator, I think that it's proven, and it's proving all the great principles. You got to include that show link so that we can learn more. And where can people find you if they want to reach out and they're too tired to do it themselves, they don't have the expertise? Where can they reach out to you?
They can reach out on LinkedIn, Omri Hurwitz, and send me a DM. They can email me at omri@omrihurwitz.com. They can check my OnlyFans account. Just kidding.
I was also gonna say the rule number 2: you don't talk about the Fight Club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So a huge shout out. Thank you for that. I'm going to check it out right after this show. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Omri.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we'll definitely continue the debates, and I am really fascinated by this stuff, and we'll definitely speak more about it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I'll be logging out. You guys have a great weekend, and thank you so much
for inviting me.
And talk soon.
Take care. Have a great weekend.
Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Night. I really enjoyed that. Like every episode, I really enjoy learning about these things, having these honest, open discussions, right? Like, what about you? You get that. Every time we finish this, it's like we get the same feeling. Omri is great. I really enjoyed that chat. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing, and he's new school. You know what would be great is to, not necessarily with the geo folks or the SEO, would have old school versus new school. Like, does old school PR really still work? And this is it, because he understands what is the key performance indicator for the journalist, which is clicks. And I think that this is something we've discovered before a long time ago, and he's just operationalized that and tied it to
that he brought in I think he tied it to like the demand aspect. Like, how do you really make PR a demand and growth engine? And you said traditional. I did also speak to other traditional PRs recently, and they're also they are recognizing, I think he said, TechCrunch with a big public firing, but these reporters are still out there. You just need to really pitch them a real story, right? That's where the traditional media might still be able to play is to pitch
the real story is measured in how attractive and how much traction and
revenue, right? It's every company's North Star is just bring us the money, right? Where's your props, Jake? Bring the money.
That's it. So, all right, Howard, another great chit chat. Thank you for setting that up, and thank you to Omri Hurwitz.
Thank you, Omri. We'll drop those links. Take care, everyone. Be well. Bye.